Cooperation in Central Asia expands with new geopolitical players to join the discussions on the pivotal agenda of the region. President of Azerbaijan Ilham Aliyev, during his stay in Astana, being an honored guest of the 6th Consultative Meeting of the States of Central Asia, highlighted the growing strategic importance of his country's ties with an economically growing region. He emphasized particularly the deep historical, cultural and geopolitical connections between the parties, focusing on cooperation in security, transport and energy. New Times reporter Baljan Samigulina explored the activated relations between Central Asia and Azerbaijan. Please have a look.
Historically, Azerbaijan's diplomatic efforts were largely focused on resolving the Karabakh conflict and restoring its territorial integrity. Now, however, the focus has been shifting, experts in interview to Selkwe commented. With the Karabakh issue resolved and territorial boundaries re-established, Azerbaijani officials are turning their attention to strengthening the country's international stature. Today, one of the priorities of Azerbaijani diplomacy is the expansion and deepening of cooperation with geographically close states, especially with the countries of Central Asia.
Azerbaijan has embarked on a very interesting strategic reorientation. Azerbaijan now is looking to the east and specifically to Central Asia. This ambition of Azerbaijan to become more of a gateway to Central Asia is of course driven by energy considerations, but a second element is also related to Azerbaijan's ambition to supplant Turkey as the patron state and as a leader of the Turkic world. For this reason, Central Asia has much greater strategic significance for Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan and Central Asian countries have a lot in common: a shared Soviet heritage, similar languages, and a mutual recognition of the importance of religion in public life. Additionally, the allies in both regions are keen to establish their roles in the evolving global landscape, striving to avoid excessive influence from any single global power. In its foreign policy, Azerbaijan is primarily focused on strengthening bilateral relations and remains cautious about relying on international organizations for solving issues related to security and socio-economic development. However, they do not include the Organization of Turkic States, which Azerbaijan places great hopes on in strengthening cooperation and integration with all Turkic-speaking countries, including those in Central Asia.
Azerbaijan is increasingly less a state in the Caucasus and more of a Central Asian state in terms of the characteristics of governance.
In recent years, particularly following the end of the Karabakh conflict, Azerbaijan's relations with Central Asian countries have significantly intensified. Between 2021 and 2024, Azerbaijani President Ilham Aliyev made multiple visits to all Central Asian nations and welcomes their leaders in Baku. Notably, he became the first head of state from outside the region to be invited as an honorary guest to the 5th and 6th consultative meetings of Central Asian leaders. The key areas for collaboration between Azerbaijan and Central Asia include transport, energy, investment and trade. While Azerbaijan's trade turnover with these countries currently stands under $1 billion, it is experiencing rapid growth.
Currently, the development of cooperation between Azerbaijan and the Central Asian countries is a priority in the framework of the foreign policy of the state. In recent years, relations between the Republic of Azerbaijan and the countries of Central Asia have been developing rapidly. As the President stated, Azerbaijan and Central Asian countries are united by centuries-old history, culture, religion, and common values. At present, Azerbaijan is developing relations with Central Asian countries both in bilateral format and in the format of regional interaction.
Key focus of Azerbaijan's partnership with Central Asian countries is the development of transport communications. Azerbaijan is keen to establish itself as a major regional and potentially global transport hub, while Central Asian nations aim to diversify their routes to markets in Turkey and Europe. Central to this cooperation is the so-called Middle Corridor. As experts predict, in the coming years, both sides will concentrate on modernizing transport infrastructure, particularly by expanding the capacity of the Trans-Caspian international transport route. Additionally, the implementation of fiber optic cables cables in the Caspian Sea and strengthening energy cooperation are also crucial aspects of this growing partnership. Despite ongoing challenges, Central Asian countries and Azerbaijan have a strong mutual interest in expanding their relations across various fields. While current levels of cooperation are relatively modest, there is considerable potential for growth fueled by the shared commitment of both sides. Scientists say the transit of goods from Central Asia is helping Azerbaijan realize its goal of becoming a key transport hub, and its economic projects with Central Asian nations are reinforcing Baku's reputation as a promising partner. Baljan Samigulina, New Time.